Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. My name's Kate Hill, I'm Head of Marketing here at Simoda, based in Sheffield. And today we've got Wragg joining us. Lee, do you want to tell us a little bit about your role?
Hi Kate, I'm Wragg, I'm the Technology Solutions Director here.
It sounded like you forgot that for a second, but yeah.
Because it goes technical or technology, so I'm the Technology Solutions Director.
Yeah, and your role really looks after, well, includes looking after customers and their technology needs, doesn't it? And finding the right technology for those customers.
Yeah, so I run an internal tech or pre-sales tech team who have specialisations, and also I go out and looking for new technology, whatever that may be, to help customers, because yeah, like you say, I talk to a lot of customers understanding what they're doing and their outcomes that they're wanting.
Yeah, that's understandable. So today we're going to talk about infrastructure, and when businesses are wanting to plan their infrastructure, understand what their infrastructure might look like across their IT environments, and actually sort of figure out what to do next. So in terms of 5 key things that businesses or IT leaders can look for when planning their IT infrastructure, can you give us sort of your top 5 tips as to what those might be before we go into a bit of a show and tell?
Yeah, so one of the first things is to understand where you are right now today. Where is your infrastructure? You know, the storage, all that type of stuff is what have you currently got, and how is that running and performing? And that's where I start for number 1. I think the second one is then, you know, where do you want to be? I think planning for the next 3 to 5 years is key when you're starting to rebuild or understand your infrastructure a little bit more. How do you get there? You know, 3 to 5 years is a long time. What's the outcome you're going to want, right? That's what we're trying to get to here. How much does it cost? Big thing for everybody. How much is this thing going to cost me by the end of the result that I want? And making that final decision is difficult, but again, that's where we work with customers to understand what that should be based on the outcome.
And I think, you know, IT planning, based on the fact that we don't know where the challenges are going to be necessarily in the future with IT and technology, I guess that's where IT leaders maybe need to start thinking about planning and just getting their infrastructure, you know, in some kind of shape where they understand where everything is, so that then they can go forward and make sure they're as robust as possible as an IT team effectively.
Yeah, so there's depending on the hypervisors that you use, we've got a number of tools that we'll use, and they only take telemetry, they're not touching data, so that's one thing that we have to talk to customers about. It's only taking what we need to make judgment of what we've got. Well, not judgment, actually, this is factual stuff, right? So running the correct tools for the right environment is key to what we do, and what everybody should do really out there is, what have we got and where is it? If you're a big organisation, you're probably not going to know. And these tools that we do use do give us a lot of insights, and allow us to start helping customers plan that journey, whatever that may be.
And you've got HP Cloud Physics up on screen, haven't you? And you're going to show us how you might approach supporting a customer to understand their environment, their IT infrastructure.
Yeah.
Where would you go first when you're working with a customer?
So what we do is, obviously we have to get this installed, which is a very lightweight piece of software that sits on a VM, connects to vCenter. I'm going to talk about VMware specifically right now today, but we have other tools available to us if you've got Hyper-V or any of the other vendors out there. But from a VMware point of view, we have a number of top pieces here where infrastructure planning, there's a lot going on in here, there's a lot of telemetry to pull out, but what we do is, number 1, we highlight the top view of what we can see and sort of, is this right, Mr. Customer? Have we captured everything that you can think of? Yes or no? And this gives us a broad overview of what's actually in that cluster. fairly
So
chunky one, this one.
This is effectively an IT leader can sit and understand where everything's.
What he's got currently, what's he got in his sort of virtual infrastructure, the physical tin that's under there.
Yeah.
And you can go on to actually, within the planning section, you can actually see what the hosts are. It actually breaks it down into all sorts of different detail. We can also really talk to the customer about the actual workloads in there, because we can see what the VM names are. So, for instance, if a client wanted to take a certain amount of VMs to the public cloud, we can actually simulate that for them prior to them actually physically moving it. So what we find is a lot of companies move their workloads into the cloud, public cloud, with just a rough guess of what it could be.
Yeah.
But we can simulate anything to go into the public cloud using this tool. And that helps us with building the different environments out that the client needs, because not everything's right for public cloud. Some needs are still on premise, so we can build that out as well. So this is where we start really working with the client to understand what do they really need, and what is the end result. You know, you might want 20 different workloads going to the public cloud. Shall we have a look what they look like? And when we do look at it, it is surprising that the costs do sometimes outweigh moving to the cloud, public cloud. But
Yeah. I guess with it's a handy exercise to undertake, isn't it? With the cost of public cloud, particularly seeming to go through the roof at the minute. Every business, I think, is aware of the rising costs, and you know how does this help us understand? So IT leaders understand, you know, the best sort of way to approach it, and maybe not everything needs to move to the public cloud, or you can put some on hybrid, private. You know, how would that help?
And this is the conversation we have with the customers. Is look, what is the ultimate goal? And we help them through that journey of advising them where things should be placed. But over and above this tool, we have other tools that allow optimization in the cloud as well. So there's a lot going on, but this is the start of the conversation around, right, you've got these workloads, we want these to go to public cloud. One thing I will show you is, which is really interesting, is this dependency map. So
yeah, you showed me this before and it looked very complicated, but I'm hoping you can talk us through it.
We have customers that say, right, I want to pick this VM up and I want to move it to the cloud, right? It's becoming a pain in the bum on infrastructure. We want to move it to the cloud, it'll be much better there. But they don't know what it's attached to.
Yeah.
They don't know what the dependencies are on that specific machine. And this is what this does. This allows us to see, you know, if I look at that VM, there's 8 dependents on that VM. So then we can start drilling right down and collecting those 8 and what are they? And those 8 are bound to be connected to others. So what you don't want to do when you're thinking of doing looking at your infrastructure refresh is try and move something that can't be moved, that's not cost effective, and we have other plans around that regards the on-premise stuff. But that is so helpful when we start talking to the end results for a client. It's just like, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I guess that's so important to understand those dependencies, isn't it, for any business, because you can't just go taking action if you don't understand the repercussions of the...
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple of clients about this, and this really does resonate with a lot of IT leaders, business leaders, because that's the fear, right? Take this one up and then I've broken something else. But this is part of what we do probably as a free service as well, so there's no cost to this at all. But yeah, he's a really helpful tool to allow us to really, I mean, the whole piece of software it's facts, right? It's not feelings, it might be, these are facts, so we can work from facts.
And this forms part of our free IT infrastructure assessment, doesn't it?
Yeah, anybody who out there that wants a free infrastructure assessment, just come to us, give us a shout. If it's VMware, we'll run this tool. If it's Hyper-V, there's something else that we've got. But yeah, we love doing these free reports.
Great, thanks Lee. Well, that's it for this video today. Please do go to our website if you want to find out more. Obviously Lee and his team are always more than happy to have a discussion or to talk about the free assessment and see how we can help you. Yeah, stay tuned for more. Simoda out.